Hey girl, this is Angel from the Philippines, your today's host on the Girl Power podcast. On today's episode, we will be talking about relationship green flags and dating career women in the millennial age. I am super excited today because I will be joined by people who are really dear to my heart. One being my decade-long best friend who's super accomplished, super proud of her. She's represented the country in multiple programs in Japan, Korea, and the US, and is now currently working as a communications staff for the Office of the President of the Philippines. And as a favor to me, she will be bringing Meinard, her boyfriend. And for those who don't know, I also have a career of my own. I'm a genetic engineer, and I currently run a tech and business incubator coaching startups in Davao City. And previously, I've also run an ASEAN-wide innovation lab. So into tech, business, and engineering side of things, while Krystelle is in the communication side of things. So I'm also bringing my boyfriend with me, Oliver, from Massachusetts, but he's currently in Hawaii at the moment. So I hope you learn a lot, and it serves as an inspiration for little girls out there thinking that they can't have a career and a relationship at the same time, because the universe is abundant and there's unlimited resources and love for each and every one of us. So let's go ahead and jump into the video.
I'm Isha from India.
I am Angel from the Philippines.
I am Tolex from Laos.
I'm Monica from the United States, and we are Girl Power.
Girl power.
Girl power. Girl power.
Confident, compassionate,
and connected. Hi guys, so how are you today? And where are you calling from? So I'm currently in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
From Oahu, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we're both here in Manila.
Locked down together.
Well, we're still working together, so there's no
Lucky. So okay, so let's go ahead and start with 3 questions. So the team and some people sent their questions. Then we categorized it in 3 categories: the courtship, relationship, and the advice to future self. So a little bit of a background. Krystelle and me it's so weird because we're meeting in like e-meeting for the first time, but Krystelle and me are best friends since high school. We're actually part of a trio with Diding, who is also in a very loving relationship. But we never had boyfriends when we were in high school, because Krystelle was with my other guy best friend. No, not with. They were like super mature about it. We were like, we want to be deserving of each other, and we're gonna work hard, and we're not gonna be in a relationship whatsoever. And he knows what I'm talking about. And at that time, I also like a gay guy who, if he's watching, if anyone's watching from high school, they all know who we're talking about. So we didn't really have boyfriends in high school. We tried to plan our lives together. We even took this entrance exam in SPC to be in the same course and the same school, but Krystelle got accepted in the University of the Philippines, and Diding went into medical school, and I was left not knowing what I wanted to do in life. So I took this entrance examination in the University of Southeastern Philippines, wanting to take probably language, probably education, and this is like a key story why I'm telling this story, not to brag, that's weird. But so I took that entrance examination, and probably 99% of the students that goes in that university needs to take a summer class before going to that university. But apparently I scored really, really high, so I was exempted. And that's a key part of the story, because at that time, that's why I went to engineering, because at that time, all of the colleges weren't opened yet, because no one is enrolling yet at that point, because everyone's taking their summer classes. But I wanted to get enrolled already, and I was lazy. So I went to the college I wanted, and they were like, no, we're not going to open today, but College of Engineering is accepting applications, interviews. So I just went there, took a look at their bulletin board, mechanical, civil, electronics, geodetic. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. So I took geodetic, failed like 8 subjects. And it was like the worst. I took it like 6 years, and even though Krystelle and me were classmates, we were never classmates. We were batchmates in high school. You graduated 2 years before I did. And I remember this day when you were like texting me, because we really hang out like a lot together at that point. You texted me and you were like, I'm going to work for the president. And I was like, yeah, of course. She's very accomplished. She's always like top of the class kind of girl, a dean's lister and whatever. It was not surprising that she's going to work for the president. Sorry. But she was like, I'm going to be working in Manila. And she never came back to Davao. We're like saw each other 3-4 times ever since. Probably less than 5. So yeah, that's the whole backstory of my relationship with Krystelle and why Meinard and Oli never met each other. Krystelle and Oli never met each other. I met Meinard once, but it was like a big event in SM. I was like, I don't know if he remembers. He doesn't remember me. But we said hi, and then that was it. So pretty weird that we're meeting this way. Never really had the niceties and just going deep into deep questions about relationships. So yeah, long talk from me. Let's go ahead and start. I have the questions here, which I'm gonna read, which are sent to me, and yeah. So I will let Oli answer for the both of us. Yes? Okay, so how and where did you guys meet, and how long have you been together? So let's maybe start with Krystelle and Meinard.
We've been officially together for
almost 2 years.
Although we had 9 months of courtship, 9 to 10 months.
6 months, I think.
I think it's 10. Yeah, I think it's 10. But it doesn't really matter. So we've met each other at the office since we're working at the same office, but at a different building.
Yes, and different department.
Mm-hmm.
So we
usually just see each other when we go to each other's building. So I'm not really sure how Meinard first saw me, but he keeps on telling me about this one event where I had no choice but to deliver certain documents straight to their office. So he keeps on telling me that was the first time he noticed me. And then he started asking people to say hi or ask me to ask someone to regards.
Yeah, it's like
notice me. I don't know.
just regards is very Filipino, I think.
Mm-mm.
How about us alls?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact dates. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years, is that right? Or is it about there?
I don't know.
I think it's roughly 2 years ago. Let's see. I don't know a month it is because coronavirus. It's June now. We met during the year. I think it was like January or some time around there. Is that right?
It was
March. Okay.
You met in January. No.
Yeah, through school.
Yeah, I was with my YC academic fellowship, which Krystelle went also, but in a different state. So yeah, and we haven't been together for 2 years. We were never off, never on for quite a while. That's how I will describe that. So okay, I'll let Krystelle and Meinard explain this to Oli. So do you still believe in the Filipino culture of traditional panliligaw?
Well, the Filipino way usually is the guy goes to the family
to his parents to ask permission to if she can court the girl, if he can court the girl.
Mm-mm. And then he'll bring flowers and chocolates, and then you in Filipino traditional way, you don't just court the girl, but her whole family.
Like from the nephews, from the nieces,
The friends and
Friends.
everyone. That's how you court and to win her over. So, well, for me, it did. For us, it didn't actually happen since I'm staying in Manila. My family is away. They are staying in Davao. So, when we were dating, we just go on our own. I asked our boss if I can go for a date on days. And then, but I already told my father about our relationship. And then when I officially said yes to him, I just texted them. I just told him that we're official. That's it.
Pretty modern. Pretty modern.
we started talking at Telegram.
Instagram.
I mean Instagram.
Okay.
Replying to my to all my stories. Like all of my stories.
Well, I don't know. In America, it's like very uncommon to do things the traditional way, which is not even so traditional. Like meeting the family is like a big step traditionally, but it's not the first step. Usually, there's like a couple of rules, like 3 dates, and like then you're like serious. The first date is always like a big deal, like maybe you kiss on the first date. That's like really common. And then, you know, America is kind of crazy, and you know, that's like not even common anymore. You know, definitely don't need to meet the family anymore. But yeah, I'm a pretty traditional guy, and definitely like meeting people's families. I like learning about the culture, and yeah, I would definitely try to do things the family way if Angel let me know about these things. Yeah, but that's pretty much how it goes. Like 3 dates, and then you know the person, and you decide to be more serious, and yeah.
Oli did meet your family, Angel, right? Went here.
Sorry. Yeah,
All-
in Davao.
Mm.
It was a weird
See?
thing.
We were, I think we're longer together, but Meinard was not able to meet my whole family yet. You've met my brothers and my sister,
when they visited
but they
here in
haven't.
Manila.
He haven't been in Davao first. We were supposed to visit Davao this September, but I don't think it's possible considering the situation.
Yeah. It definitely didn't just take us 3 dates to be here. Like it was, I think we had a really long courtship of some sort. It was a weird thing. We weren't really in a relationship for like most of that 2 years. It was kind of open of some sort. Anyways, how many relationships or serious flings have you had before being with each other?
So I'll answer first.
Go.
You should answer first. Mine is really boring. I had no boyfriend, although I have some flings. One serious, one before him, and then the rest were just so nothing to tell really.
How about Maynard?
Previously, I had one relationship. Well, it took us for almost a year, but then at the end, it didn't work out for us. So mine is also boring.
Als?
Yeah, I think I've had like one really serious relationship, a younger fling along in there, but probably just one serious girlfriend for like 2 years. Just kind of like grew up with her, stayed with her family a lot, and I guess we grew apart. Angel doesn't like the bad talk about her, but yeah, we kind of grew apart, and that was back in Massachusetts, and probably like 6 months before I moved out to Oahu. And yeah, I haven't really had a serious relationship here besides Angel. Yeah, just been really dedicated with school, and yeah.
For me, it's like a long list of ex-lovers. No, not really serious, I don't think. I've always said, like, date as many people as you can, just because you know who you want, what you want, and that, like, you'd know more about yourself. Then it's not really about finding that person, it's about finding yourself. And through that, I feel like now I know what I want, and you know, so good. So in a world that's so connected with apps like Tinder, why did you decide to be committed, and how, or do you still feel FOMO, or fear of missing out?
Actually, I think I'm the right age, the mature age to commit with someone, and I'm happy to be with her.
Oh.
So that's commitment for you when you feel happy individually, but the people around you makes you also happy. That's for me. So that's the go signal for me.
Well,
How old is Maynard?
I'm turning 30 this August. I'm 29.
and I'm just 23, turning 24 next in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But for me, I'm young, so it was really hard for me to decide to commit to Maynard. I don't really see relationship as a hindrance, but I see it as something that I am not really willing to go into yet during our courtship period. But then there was this time when I just felt it, that I am ready to commit to him. And then, to be honest, there are actually days when even we were already together, there were still days that I was afraid of missing out. It's not really about missing out to in looking for other people, but it's about, there's something about being single that that is different when you are with someone, when you are committed. So yeah, maybe I was afraid, but being with Maynard also made me feel secure. So it helped me cope up with that feeling.
Oliver, do you have fear of missing out?
I think I'm at like coming to a certain age as well, but I just don't think of it that much. Like, especially with the question of like Tinder, I just like think that I value more like person to person interactions, like stuff that's really genuine. You get a better sense of like life and experience when you're with somebody who takes things a little bit more serious than just like a swipe or whatever, and yeah, the fear of missing out is not there because I just really connect with Angel. Like, she just says things that click with me. I feel like we have a good, happy like balance of personalities, and yeah. But cool answers. I liked your answers too.
I bribed him to say that. No, I think we had time. We had like the open thing where we tried exploring not other people per se, but like other experiences. Like a year, I think, of just being like, yeah, I do, or date who you want to date, and then we just decided to stay committed. It was a very long process. So even though it's like 2 years, we're still very early in the relationship stage. It was more trying to figure out what roles we want to play in each other's lives. So yeah, I don't really feel that. I mean, I've said I have a long list of not lovers. It's more people I've seen, and yeah, I don't feel like I feel like, on the contrary, I feel like I've already seen and found what I want. Corny. Okay, so, and This is a weird, no, not a weird question, but I'm gonna let again Oliver answer this. So who said I love you first?
Me? Yeah, I think so.
You liar!
Oh, really? Am I wrong? Oh, I thought I did.
Do you really believe that he said I love you first?
I must have dreamt it. I mean, you're always right. Let's just hear what you have to say. I thought I did. No. Yes, I truly believe that that's the case.
Okay. How about Tel&Meinard?
I said it first to Tel.
For sure.
Then she answered
Nothing.
No.
What did I answer? Some bagong teka. That's a usual response. I always tell him, every time he says something cheesy, I'll tell him, I'm gonna punch you. Shut up. Not really shut up, but something like that. So
we didn't say this it was kind of an issue for quite a while because we were like talking. We weren't really, I don't know if we were in a relationship at that point, but we were talking already. And he'd say stupid things like, I think I'm more emotionally attached to you than you are to me. Like, that's 10 words less than what you really mean. It's like, he would say like stupid stuff like that. And I got so, and I think I said, I love you when I was like trying to break up with him. I was like, you know what? I love you, but this is like not working out. So I did say that first. But yeah, that didn't really matter because it was just like a long, weird phase that we had. But yeah, now we say it pretty often. But I did say it first, and I'm gonna hold a grudge to that. Okay, so right. Do you recommend not having labels unless you're really sure of each other?
I think I drift that way, like as a personal opinion, but I would definitely be open to other opinions on that. I think it's just maybe like conservative point of view. Like obviously Angel said I love you first, so yeah, I just think just really knowing each other before you know, labels are one thing that is like good and solid, but if you make the labels before you're really, you know, comfortable with them, then yeah, it could be bad.
Well, for me, it's not really that necessary because when I said yes to Meinard, I wasn't really that 100% sure. And then in the part of getting to know each other, you have the whole time to get to know each other. Like right now, you asked me about the Filipino traditional courtship, right? Then were we able to tell you that we didn't really have, we were not able to do that. So Meinard is actually courting me while we are already in a relationship. So you know, it doesn't need, we don't really need to be 100% sure, but I think it's important that you see somehow yourself with that person, so you can see somehow that you are willing to live your life with that person, and you're willing to share your thing, the experiences with him. So yeah,
labels is just there, but the process that you would be going through, then that's getting to know each other. That's, for me, that's the important thing about the relationship.
I mean, you could still act like you're in a relationship together and don't have any labels, but when I actually put a label to our relationship, it deepened our relationship really. It made me more committed to him, unlike when we were just dating. So I don't know, there's something about putting that gold label. I'm not really sure how I'm not sure what is in it. Maybe it's more on the with the idea that when you put a label to it, you already
Exclusively dating.
we were already exclusively dating.
But for the other people to know,
maybe
for the label, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very polar opposite because we didn't really put a label on ours, very recently, I think, or like last year, kinda. But it was still a tug of war. Like it was such a long process to call it a relationship, because there were points when I think it was Oli who didn't want to call it a relationship because we were long distance. I left Oahu like right after I met him, and then there was a point where it was me, and then it was just weird until we were. Yeah, I think it's very important to put labels when you're comfortable, but I agree with what you said that it's a. I don't know what's it with it as well. I think it made. I don't regret not putting the label in the very beginning, but I think now it made the relationship better to just know, to just be secure and in that.
I think that's a word. It puts security to the relationship.
Because then you wouldn't have like the, like, should I act jealous, or like those silly things that only a girlfriend or a boyfriend would have the right to say. So yeah, I think it's all about security. Also at that point, I was like, if we were in a relationship, it means we're not gonna break up. And I think I remember Ollie saying, yeah, but you don't have to put labels for it not to hurt, or something like that, some weird thing that he said. So yeah. Okay, what are the green flags in the beginning of the relationship that you realized that you really wanted to be with that person? Tell. Meinard.
I've met his family a lot of times already, and I saw how good his parents are, his siblings are, and they treated me really well. So actually, I was more in love first with his family
than me,
than him first. So yeah, and it's really important to me because I think it could somehow reflect how he could possibly treat me in the future.
I'm going to in a relationship when Tel keeps me going in terms of my work and in my studies. She motivated me in every steps I take during my career, and it helps my personal growth, not only in my career but also in my walks of life.
Yeah, I think that's another thing also I also like about Meinard, because whenever I tell him to do things for his personal well-being in his career, he always tries to be better. So I like a person who never stops learning, and he is that.
Before Tel, I was so like complacent. Like I don't want to be
To be promoted,
to advance, but when Tel came, things have changed, and I like it. I like it for myself.
No, Meinard is actually, I think he's successful on his own, but he is, as he said, he's complacent. He's okay with his position. When in fact he could actually take his masters, he could actually be promoted. And then I'm really proud that within the 2 years that we've been together, he was promoted twice, and he was now taking his masters. And yeah,
so
I think we go together. That's the go signal.
Ollie,
go first. Do you want to go first, or?
Okay. You want me to? It's okay.
Yeah.
Same, how he's very driven. I think I've seen, well, not just with the big things, it's also the small things where you're really, really I am someone who's a go-getter. I would categorize myself as that, but I'm also someone who's like, okay, like I give up also easily when I just don't see the point. So but he's not like that. I don't hear him complain much. He just, he's just very, very driven and determined, and I like that. What else? Attention to details, I think. That was a goal signal. And what else? I can't.
First.
You tell them first, and I'll
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. I think I noticed that Angel was like really just like aware of herself, very like modern. She had a lot of the kind of new types of philosophies that I've seen in like Hawaii. Just her like green type of awareness, like that was common where I was from in Massachusetts, but not like well accepted. And then moving to Hawaii, a lot of people are a lot more like that. And Angel was just really down to earth and really like just kind of like serious about things. It was just the attitude towards like yeah, like I don't want to say like recycling, but like just like caring about the environment she was in. I don't know, like she just seemed to focus on personal interactions, which I already mentioned, or like a green flag. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. She just like kind of clicked with me in our way of viewing life, I guess.
Yeah, it's just alignment of values. Yeah, I've seen that too with how he is with money and resources. Because it was funny because Krystelle was really, really frugal when we were growing up, but then I think I kind of filled in that shoes. I was like that. I wasn't frugal growing up. I was never a spender, but she was really, really frugal. But now I view resources in a certain way, and I like that Oli really accepts that, even though like sometimes I don't think he understands, but he tries very hard to understand the things that I study or am very passionate about. So yeah, that's a green flag, just alignment of values. Okay, so let's get to the relationship parts, because nosy people wants to know. All right. Do you guys believe in love at first sight? And can you tell us about your first date?
First encounter was really weird. I had an event for YCV, so I have to go to
Maxis.
a certain hotel near MOA. So I jokingly, because he keeps on, as we've said, he keeps on replying to my Instagram story. So one time I told him, "You want to party with me?" He said, "Okay, where?" Something like that. And then I said, "No, I was just joking." And then the next thing he texted me was he's on his way. And that's 10 p.m. 10 p.m. He was already at the outside my office. So because we are always late, we always go home late. He stayed there for like past 12 p.m. waiting for me. So it was so awkward. I went with him in his car so that he can drop me at the supposedly party, which was already over. And then we just had one drink, and then we're done. That was so weird. That's our first encounter. But it actually let me see how patient he was, because he stayed there for like more than 2 hours waiting for me just to drop me at a place where we were supposed to party. So yeah.
So do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
No.
I was not attracted to him at first. I don't, because he has my office crush. So you're not supposed to have a crush with somebody else crush, especially when it's close to you. How about you?
In love at first sight? Actually, no, I don't believe in love at first sight. But for me, it's more of getting to know the person, not just that plain and simple that you look at the physical appearance. No, for me, it's more of.
But were you attracted to me?
Yes, of course.
I just need to verify that.
Okay. How about you, Alls?
I guess I believe it's possible.
But you didn't feel it to me.
No, that's not the way I fell in love with you. It wasn't.
It wasn't my looks, guys.
Your personality, Angel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can just look somebody in the eyes and just see everything that's inside of them, you know? Like, especially not at first sight. Like, I feel like I'm learning more and more about Angel all the time. So, yeah.
No, tell them about our first date. Do you even remember things?
Yeah, so I think I was really nervous, so I don't remember a lot, but I remember I wanted to make it awesome. So I brought you everywhere on the island, right? I think you went on a hike and 2 beaches, and we probably got lunch and dinner. So, yeah, I was trying to impress. But yeah, I guess we went to my favorite couple of beaches here and went snorkeling. And yeah, it's a really good day, I think. We got to know each other a lot.
Yeah. We spent the day together. We went and hiked in this waterfalls that is so mediocre. He did say it's good, but I'm from the Philippines. I was like, okay, this is not too impressive. I'm not impressed. But we went I'm kidding. We went to I don't know if I'm pronouncing. How do you pronounce it? Also, Hanalma Bay.
Hanalma Bay.
Yeah, we did, and then another beach. Yeah, this was. I was pretty impressed with the end of it. Not the first part though. I don't like hiking, but yeah, this is good. And I don't really believe in love at first sight. Attraction, maybe. Love is like a thing you accumulate over time, if that's the right word. Okay, so speaking of first dates, how did you think your relationship will end when you first started dating or probably seeing each other? Did you think you'll go this far?
When we were dating, I know there's something, but I didn't expect it to get this deep and long. But I'm happy with it. Same.
Because of my previous relationship, I learned so many things. So for me, I'd be, when I enter a relationship with them, I'd expect it to be more in the long term, because from the learnings I've been through.
So for him, there was already an expectation.
Yes.
On my part, there was not much.
How about with Oliver? I'm interested to.
Sorry, what was the question again? It was
Well,
on the first few dates.
How did you think? Did you expect that would go this far? When we were first started, probably seeing each other when we were first started. Okay, first few days.
I would say definitely not. I think I had no expectations. Like I was just happy to be with you, but I did not. I didn't ever think of it like that. Like I guess I was just like. I definitely noticed pretty quickly, like I'm clicking with this person. Like I really enjoy being with this person, but I don't know, like there was something where I was afraid to like address that. So there was a lot of like, yeah, it was sort of like a creeping feeling that I'm gonna be with this person for a while. Not really like where I was like, I know, you know?
Yeah. It's also because I was leaving Hawaii already, so it wasn't as if I was living there. It was more of like, we both probably knew that I'd be leaving. So no, not at all. I was just like, well, this is a Hawaiian thing. Thank you for a good few days. Bye, kind of thing. So even until now, I'm like, how did we even get here? But yeah, glad we did. Okay, so this is a weird question, and I want to put a disclaimer because I think everyone is in their own timelines in a way. So the question is, have you ever felt intimidated by how accomplished your girlfriends are? And that's so weird for me to call myself accomplished because I don't think I am that successful in a way, but it's also a disservice, I think, even for us to always downplay ourselves. And I've been doing that, especially for women. We've been doing that for so long, downplaying everything just to make everyone else feel comfortable. So yeah, but also a disclaimer that each person, each girl or boy, are on their own timelines, and there's such like a big abundance in the universe that one success is not a loss of your own. So yeah, just putting that out there for everyone who's gonna listen to this. Okay, so for the boys, this is explicitly for guys. Did you ever feel intimidated by how accomplished your girlfriends are? Maynard?
Um, a bit little, but for me, I find it more for myself to be motivated and challenge myself to be more accomplished. Because when I was studying, I'm not that I don't have awards, but for me, my accomplishment is just simple. It's just to graduate. But when I met Tel, when I known her background about her schooling, that she has many awards. So at my own timeline during my career, there is when I challenge myself. So to my personal growth, to get promoted, and we're actually having healthy discussion about certain things like what's actually happening right now in our country.
More self-aware.
So to more
Social awareness.
social awareness and of the current events of what's her idea about the current situation. So I'm challenging it. Like we're having a healthy discussion. For me, that's for. So a little bit get challenge intimidated, but not that quite huge.
For me and also, I don't even know if you knew what I kind of do when we like. I was just like a traveler. He probably didn't. I didn't hand him my CV or anything. He probably did. You even know that? Oh, that's such a weird thing to say. Accomplished. I don't feel that way. But did you know? When did you know that? Oh, that's so weird. Like that's what you do, kinda. Did you even know? You probably did.
I still don't know everything that you do. It's hard to keep track of everything. But yeah, I guess maybe when I do know, I'll be intimidated, but at this point, I'm just kind of inspired by all the things that you do. Like you live a very active lifestyle, and that's awesome. But I think I just need to like catch up, I always like bounce questions off of you, and the fact that you are able to just like understand everything that I've got going on in my life is a little bit intimidating sometimes, I guess. Yeah, just like steady trying to get where I'm going, and yeah, trying to pick up on what you're doing. But
I don't think that played a big like intimidation kinda. If ever I was with someone who probably is a Filipino in here, maybe that's gonna play a big part. But he didn't really know what I was doing. He still doesn't know what I was what I'm doing. So yeah, that's not a big factor. Okay, so is her career life and achievements what attracted you to her the most, or is it just a bonus?
Yeah, I think it's a bonus. It's definitely it's part of your personality, so that makes it part of like what attracted me too, because you're really outgoing, you're really well spoken. Yeah, a bonus.
Just a bonus. Maynard.
Yeah, I think
Same with Oli.
I saw your answer.
Yeah, it's just a bonus because Tel has more to offer. Not just that. Not just that. She's also outgoing, and she always helped the less fortunate. I find it so attractive. And she's so kind. She's so kind to others.
So okay, what's the best thing about your significant other then? The one best thing.
What I really love about Meinard is how he adjusts things for me, because being with me is really not easy. I have so many demands. I change mood every now and then, and my work is really tough and demanding. So I need someone who would really adjust for me, and doing so makes me feel that I am very loved. And Maynard never really made me felt like I have gaps in the relationship, even if I know that I have so much. So yeah, that's it. Ollie, you answer first.
Okay, Alls.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Maynard. Yeah, the best thing about you. That's like you're gonna remember this. I like how you're like assertive. You're a go-getter. You're determined to understand things. Like I like that you are very focused on what you want and how to tell people that, and that's really important. Like communication is important everywhere you go, and I like the way you communicate with me, and I like the way you can communicate with anyone. Yeah, I mean, that's not that exciting. I'll think of it better.
No, what I like best about you? Your blue eyes. No, maybe that you never really promised me anything that you didn't show up for. Like I was never promised a relationship, for example, or I don't know, just things. I think even you going to the Philippines was like a banter of some sort for like a year. Like, I never really took it seriously. It was like, oh yeah, you should go here, and I'd show you around or whatever. Like, yeah, I miss you, go here. But I actually didn't believe that you'd do it until you were actually in the Philippines. So yeah, I like that you put much importance in the things that you say. Maynard, it's your turn.
I like about Tel when she does find time when I needed something, even if she is concentrated with her work and studies, but she finds time with me. Like whenever I need help, she can multitask.
Juggle.
She can juggle both for when he's, for example, when he's studying, but she can still reply to me when I just make a papansin. She will just reply, and when I annoyed him sometimes,
Her.
and when I annoyed her, then it only take us few minutes, but she like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for me the best traits of her, that she's so caring, especially to me.
Especially to you.
Okay, so what do you guys like doing together?
Don't like
Like doing together?
Traveling
we love
and
to
eating.
travel and eating and watching movie.
We've been to 3 countries already in the past 2 years, and we're really planning to
Go to
go to different parts of the world in the next
continent.
years.
Yes.
And eating, we can really share so many foods in one sitting.
We're pretty boring too. What are you
Yeah.
guys doing?
While we're reading books together, we
How
like
do you do it?
a lot. Yeah, we're like kind of just loosely following along on books. We're supposed to be getting a book done, but yeah, I've got a new one started that I didn't tell Angel about. Yeah, I've got like 4 books going. I like reading, so I think Angel's accommodating.
What else do we like doing?
Talking shit about people.
We don't do that.
Really do that? Maybe that's another person.
Maybe that's another girl. We like playing checkers. I always beat him. We like.
Playing checkers.
I think we both like the ocean. We like swimming.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we're pretty boring. Sometimes he reads to me. I like those. Yeah, reading and checkers. Boring. And talking, we don't talk. We don't really talk shit about other people. It's just like I rant to you because I can't complain to anyone else. Like, if you have a boyfriend and you can't complain to him, like, what is he even there for?
Both really quick.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your favorite memory with each other? Okay.
So much.
Yeah.
But most of my favorite memories are during our travels.
Yes, me too.
Really.
Me too.
Because we get to encounter a lot. Like when we were in Hong Kong, we got lost a lot of times, but it was really fun because I was really able to see how patient he was. We were already we cannot find our way. We're starting to get starved. I'm getting moody, and he was just really there, telling me that things gonna be okay. So yeah, most of my favorite memories of us are during our travels.
What's your favorite memory, Oliver?
I don't know if I can pull it out on the spot.
What's it? Just the top of your
I
head.
might be better at this part. Let me think.
Mine would be him getting mugged by little. I went in a speaking engagement in a school in the Philippines, my alma mater actually, and he insisted. I told him, no, you're not allowed to go because one, he wasn't. I didn't want him to meet my aunt that's also a teacher there and like my family, and two, it's like I knew that he's obviously white, so he'd be like and it was so bad. No, not bad in a bad sense, like it was even worse than I expected because he got mugged by like little children just grabbing his arms, and it was like it was unexpected in a way, and that was really fun to watch. And they were like, it was like having a celebrity, and I was the guest there. I was the guest, and I was speaking to the children about their careers and something, and they liked him more than they liked me. I don't even know if they liked me, but they were so he's got a huge fan base in those little kids.
I don't know. There's a couple. I remember one night on the beach talking to you about something really deep, but I won't talk about that one. I remember meeting your family was really good. That was probably good because is my microphone glitching?
No.
That was good because Angel didn't want to do that, and I like that you were a little bit embarrassed. It was fun to see you a little bit less composed than you normally are, and meeting your family was really sweet, and yeah, I got to experience the Filipino honesty. I don't know if that's what you call it. They made fun of me a little bit. Yeah, that was good times for sure.
Yeah, it was weird because as Krystelle knows this, how we put a big deal on like boys coming into our homes, like in general. And I know this is like a big part of a very common, maybe because of our upbringing as well and how we grew up, but it's like a very big thing. I think Maynard actually never met your dad yet, right? Never met home, so it's just like a big thing. And I don't know if Ollie understood that in a way, because he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's meet your parents. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to do that. And like, I've never brought anyone home. My mom knew of some boys, but not very loosely. But she was happy that I finally brought someone, but not at home. I was like, okay, let's just have dinner somewhere. But yeah, and I didn't tell my mom that we were together. I said like he's a friend, but my mom knows me very well. She was like one look at us and she's like, no, don't shit on me. I know like what this is. So yeah, that was fun. So fact is, millennials are really not getting married anymore, or getting married really old. Especially in the Filipino culture, we're like officially at the marrying age. Like there are a lot of high school batchmates who are already married or have like 2 kids and whatever, and I'm just like, I'm still dating. So we're kind of late in that sense. But for you guys, do you still believe in marriage?
I think marriage is important first because not because of religious aspect, but legally it's required, and it would really show commitment to your partners. So I think it's also level up the relationship from being couples to something more deeper, and then it would somehow be it could also be a foundation for a good family. Although I'm not saying that to be a family you need to get married, but maybe it's also because of my upbringing. You know me, Jel. I have a very religious, traditional parent because my mom died when I was younger. So I think marriage is still important, but it could wait. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. You're like 3 years and your eyes like went up. Oops, what did I just say? 3 years. How about Ollie? Do you believe in? Are you gonna marry me? No,
That's a proposal.
No.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
I got really uncomfortable real quick.
Yeah, I mean I just don't think I'm grown up enough for that yet. Like, I guess like 5 to 8 years, maybe like less, 3 to 5 years. But yeah, I guess I believe in marriage. We've talked about it a little bit. You want something less serious? I'm more like serious one into it, I guess. So
It's not. I want. It's not less serious just because I don't want a big wedding. Yeah, we did talk about it a bit, but I don't know. It's still up in the air. So at what point in the relationship did you talk about marriage? At what point in the relationship did you talk about marriage? And what do you think should one accomplish first before even thinking about getting married?
We don't talk about marriage, so there's the follow-up question won't apply.
No, you don't. We do. I think it's very well. It's recent because we weren't even in a relationship for some time, but I think it's very important to talk about. Because what if someone doesn't want to get married and then the other wants to get married? And it was just very recent that I decided I actually want to get married for legal purposes. So yeah, it's a way, not a waste of time, but it's just, again, going back to values alignment, and if that's in the horizon or not. It's just good to loosely talk about it.
We might talk about it after this.
I was like, I want to be married at a certain age, but not.
Oli, that's very important for you to know. We have arranged your marriage 10 years ago. So whatever your plan is, if you're planning to marry Angel, we all have it in mind. Keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
Don't scare him. Same with you. I actually think that you guys will get married. If this is like the final, I think you guys will get married before us. We're like a long, long, long way from that.
No. I have so many plans personally. I think Meinard's gonna improve his career first. Then maybe we could start discussing about it.
We don't talk about marriage, but we share the same belief that we believe in marriage.
That's a good starting point, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's a start.
So again, to take that in mind, that if you have any other plans about your wedding, don't even think about
it. I told him that I want just go in the, I don't know, what is it called? Like a city hall? Like sign the papers, eat in McDonald's, that's it. And he doesn't want that.
You have sent us an invitation at least 9 months before your wedding, so that we can book a trip.
To eat in McDonald's, sure.
Yes.
It's like 50 pesos per meal. Sure.
Yeah, I think more into like the idea of getting like careers settled, getting places settled. Like it's a dream of mine to kind of explore where I want to be in the world, So hopefully engineering degree can take me somewhere I really want to be like a first step. But yeah, marriage soon to follow after that, I think.
Gel, since you already
McDonald's.
What? It's up in the air. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so do you think family involvement is crucial to a relationship? Or do you constantly seek approval of your significant other's family? I think this, like, do you constantly seek approval from your significant other's family?
I'm not sure with Meinard, but very traditional, but I would really never marry someone who my father won't approve to. And that's very important to me. Well, I respect my father's opinion so much, and my siblings, that it would matter if they would like the person I'm with or not. So having their approval would really matter. And I don't really see, I don't think it, I don't need Meinard's family's approval every time, but it would be nice if they would also like me.
Meinard?
My family is just that they're not meddling about my relationship, but they're always been supportive to me. And as I can see now that they love Tel, because they always invite her when there's a gathering in our house. And like when we're going to Ilocos, they also invited her when she cannot make it to Davao for the holiday. We will ask her to join us, and my parents would approve easily. So in terms of approval, they don't meddle a lot, but they
But I have their approval.
they're being more parang they're being more supportive than meddling. You know that.
Ayun.
That's sabi.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. Especially to tell us, away from us in Davao. She always says, it's really good that she's got you and your family in Manila to take care of her when we're not there to do so. So Oliver.
Okay. I am almost positive my family would really approve of Angel, but I think I agree with Maynard a little bit that it's not really so much their decision. Like, if they were meddling, it would be not important to me. Like, I don't think I really seek my family's approval on it. I'm sure they would. Knowing my family, I know they would definitely enjoy Angel, but yeah, that's not really approval based. It's more like I would just want them to meet her, but we haven't scheduled that, which is
See?
should do that.
There are a lot of steps before the marriage thing.
Yeah,
Definitely not soon.
but that's all that it is steps. It's just get all that set up and we're going to McDonald's.
to go to McDonald's. So I think that it's very, very important. I think in this case, it's very me and Del have the same kind of bringing. I don't know if this is a Davao thing, but they really meddle. Both our families meddle in with our relationships, and it's very important to us that they like who we like. There are a few people that my mother didn't like, not approval. She doesn't meddle, but she's not shy of saying like, why are you with that guy or this and that. And I that is also why like I didn't bring anyone at home yet, apart from that one. And she really likes. I think she takes care of the relationship too. She's like, oh, does Oliver know that you're doing this or that? And she likes Oliver. She said when the family met him, he's very well mannered and submissive in a way, because I have a really like, my mom always say like I have a type A bossy personality, which is like Oliver's like very, very chill. So she likes seeing that he's responsive and attentive to who, and accepting to who I am as a person. So yeah, my family really likes him.
Besides,
yes.
our family wouldn't really disagree with someone who they see is treating their daughters good.
Yeah, that's just what's important, I guess. And both of our families, especially that I know, I've been in your house for growing up, so I think they really, even growing up, not just with relationship, they really trusted us both. We were one of those kids who didn't really have curfews, and like they always known that we're probably just with each other, or we were out in each other's houses, with a sleepover or something. So yeah, I think they trust our decisions. All right, so for the girls, what are your thoughts about having for the couple, what are your thoughts about having children?
I would love to have children. I'd love to have children. But again, not anytime soon. But that, maybe again 5 to 8 years from now.
And Maynard likes children as well, or?
Yes, I would love to have children, but as Tel told us.
Okay, let's just put that disclaimer. This is not like a like tomorrow kind of thing.
But yeah, I would love to have children because all of my, because we're 6 in a family, and my 3 brothers are now have family, and we usually play with their children, and and children. Which I should play with children, and actually I've been wanting of my own too, but not now. But I would love to have family.
Okay, yeah. Build a family together.
Build a family together.
Oliver?
Yeah, I mean, that's like definite want. It's up to Angel. Gonna be yeah, really important for Angel to be serious about it too. I think yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, we joke a little bit about it, so we would have to have like a more serious talk about it, and it would have to like be a couple years down the road. I think Angel is has her philosophy about that pretty set with the cost of a child, and I don't know what else. Yeah.
It's not about the cost of a child. What is this? It's just, again, up in the air. We're having joking, healthy conversations about it. I'm not saying like I'll probably at the moment probably not a no, but it's not a hard pass anymore. You know, like I've been in the past where I'm like no. Now it's more a let's see, but like I don't know, bro. It's like it needs to still be. I mean, there are a lot of repercussions with having children in general. And okay, for the girls also, just because we're in that topic, what are your thoughts about having children and its repercussions in terms of your careers?
Well,
Especially for women.
me as a person, I really love challenges. So I don't think it's a hindrance, but more on another challenge for me to balance my career and having children. So I think if ever that day will come, it would be best if I'm already settled in terms of, not really settled, but ready in terms of financial, emotional, and all other aspects, so that I could really raise a good children. It won't hinder my career, I am sure of that, because I would continue to progress even with or without them.
It's making me think about challenges, because I also worry about, I have like very vain worries about it. It's like not just the cost, although I joke about the cost of having children. It's more like the repercussions of, you know, your life being tied to that. It's not like you can't unsubscribe to being a parent. That's like a lifetime thing. So I'm not sure if I'm maybe a lot of fear in not raising a really good human being, especially with how good my mom raised me. I'm like, how does someone do that? And then also, like, sometimes it's very irrational how, oh, I don't want to be super fat, and like, you know, like those kind of vain things that I really don't want to think about, but it's real that I like, or like stretch marks or stuff like that. And it's very shallow, but also one of the fears, because your body really changes. And I think I'd want to wait for society to also keep up with how, as couples, you know, like it's always the mother for most part who bears raising children, and even just domestic. I know, like I'm not saying that Ollie's just gonna be like, yeah, here's the kids and like raise them, but there's still a lot of gap between like the mother being the mother and the roles, just different roles in society. So there are a lot of fears, I think, with that. I'm not closing doors, but it needs to be further researched.
And I think it's really important that before I enter that stage, if ever I will really enter that stage, my partner would really understand that it wouldn't just me. I mean, I can take the role, but I don't want it. It should be a shared role, and it should not be like, as you've said, the traditional way of putting all the burdens to the mothers, because I will also have my own career after I get even after I bear my child. So it's really important that that thing is clearly discussed with my partner once I get once I get ready with it.
Yeah, especially maybe with the jobs that we have, it's very demanding of the time and creativity, and not just even time. It's more like my focus and attention. So there's this fears of that as well, that that being divided into raising a spawn. So yeah, it just needs to be further discussed, and also there are a lot of things that we both probably still want to do before stepping into that role. So to follow, but not very soon. Okay, so we got to the tips. So how do you often feel jealous, and do you think jealousy in a relationship is healthy?
You answer first.
Go, Oliver.
No, I think jealousy is unhealthy. I think you should trust your partner through, whatever you're
Do you
feeling.
feel jealous?
Sure, I feel jealousy sometimes. Like I get personal worries, but I think that's like just part of normal anxiety. And sometimes when you have anxiety about anything, you just need to address what's going on. Like maybe it's for a reason, maybe it's not, but just you can make sure that things are all right in a lot of different ways. You don't have to be like tracking people. You need to give people their space, and trust is huge in whatever relationship, because I think your expectations of anybody, like, it's not just jealousy in a relationship, but your expectations of anybody are going to lead to them, like your expectations become real. Like what you expect from somebody is what they're going to live up to. For the most part, it's not like everybody doesn't make their own decisions, but like if you give somebody bad expectations, they're going to be like, screw you,
Well, a little bit of jealousy is healthy, I think. Like it means we're human and that we care. Maybe just around dealing with it. I feel jealous? You've never really given me reasons to feel jealous, and it's also probably because we're long distance. But that's also weird, because some long distance relationships really have that as like one of the biggest things that they deal with. We don't really deal much with jealousy, maybe because we also started with how we started, being open about meeting other people. So it's more like, okay, you're now sure, probably because you had like the freedom to choose other people, and then you came back here. So yeah, I really appreciate that. I can't think about a time. Oh well, I can. Like in the beginning, it was like a weird thing that we fought about. When not fight, that we talked about. But yeah, after that, I didn't really feel jealous of. I feel jealous of your bike, because that's what you always tinker about. That's his priority. His bike, his food, his car. I'm like, not even like on that level. So how about Tel and Meinard?
Time jealousy, I got you.
I'm a jealous type, I think. I mean, when you love and care someone, it's bad, but I think it's normal that you actually feel possessive about something. So I think what's really important is the constant reassurance that my partner gives me. Because if I if he gives me any reason to get jealous, I think that's where the problem really comes in. But the jealousy, I don't really see it as a problem. It's a normal feeling that you get when you love and you care for someone. Well, that's just for me.
So I agree with Tel. Dealing with jealousy is not that unhealthy, but don't get it to the point that jealousy is now unhealthy. So
It might
the-
break the relationship.
that might break their relationship. So deal it at the beginning. At first, deal it with immediately, so it
Eh,
won't reach the point that it will become unhealthy.
I think he's trying to say that because in our relationship there were problems that we encountered, and one thing that really stopped the 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 intensity of the problem is to really communicate it from the very beginning.
So
Me, I am the kind of person who would tell you, I don't like this. I don't like this when you do this. I don't want you to do this. And I don't want to really be a demanding girlfriend, but I want to be very honest with how I feel and what I want. And it's really important that he listens to me. And I make sure to always do the same to him.
Yeah.
And I try to avoid guys because in the present times there are really people who would still try to how do you say it?
Hit on you.
Hmm?
Still try to hit on you.
Okay. Even if you are already in a relationship, but I always tell that to Maynard from the very start because I think if it might cause a problem in the future, I might as well do something about it right now. So yeah.
so importantly, you have to be transparent with each other.
Mhm. That's how we made our relationship stronger.
Yes, even
Two times.
even simple things. Just tell her. No, there's no problem with that.
Mhm. Even if I get jealous at times, and I would tell her, "Don't do that. Next time, don't do it. Don't let her blah blah blah." But that's fine. The important thing is he was really honest with me.
Be honest with me, Oli. No.
I am. It's just a bike.
It's
Just
just,
a bike.
I think it's also the important. I told this to Oli, like if there's a third party involved in a way, like, I mean, there's a third person, a third party. It's your responsibility. Whoever, if it's a guy, it's my responsibility. If it's a girl, it's his responsibility to say something to that person. Like I told him, I'd never, ever like go to a girl and be like, oh, why are you doing this with my boyfriend? Or like, even if she's like what we call in the Philippines a kabet, even if that's official, like a mistress, I would never like go to that girl, and because that's not like my problem is with you because I'm in a relationship with you. Whatever you do outside of that is not my problem. I'm not gonna step down anyone's level, especially that level, to scold someone or to like catfight or anything. Like that's your responsibility to make me, and it's my responsibility to make you feel assured about the relationship. So yeah.
And I think that I hope I made it clear with Maynard that if ever we'll have a problem with third party relationship, it is his fault or it is my fault if ever I did it and not the other party's fault whatsoever. Because in the first place, it was us who were committed to each other. So yeah, take note again.
In the Philippines, right? It's always, and how we see it in social media. I know you see it. I don't know if you scroll, but I'll just in general, like when we were growing up, it's always like somebody's mother going to the kabet or like the mistress and like fighting and this and that, and the guy always gets off and skate. Like it's not. Oh, for sure, like if someone knows that somebody is in a relationship, yes, that's wrong, but it's first and foremost your responsibility as a guy or as a girl to be like, well, I'm in a relationship, and it's definitely going to be your fault. Take
Right.
note. So,
Ollie, take note.
Ollie and Maynard, take note. We're never gonna cat fight for you. Okay, how do you define a healthy relationship?
Um,
What is it in your relationship that you think is really, really healthy?
Well, we've already told this a lot of times throughout this video, but it's really on how we grow together.
And the constant communication.
mm, um, mm, I think I wouldn't set up a relationship where I don't feel listened or don't feel that I am growing, because as a person, since I was young, I was really sorry for the term, achieving things on my own perspective, and having someone who would stop me from doing so is something that is not really necessary in my life. So I have to take it out from me. So so far for the past 2 years, I have seen how Maynard has supported me in all of my endeavors. Like every time I try to do business, every time I try to go to school, in my work, in my career, he helped me. In my personal life, he was there. So I think that's really what is making our relationship healthy for the past years. You. Okay.
Okay, also, what makes our relationship healthy?
I think alignment. I think like just hearing each other out. Like I know there's a lot of other things like keeping things like dynamic and strong and making sure that we're having fun, but just overall like happiness and being together, just knowing that things are cool is all right. Like I don't think it's the goal to like try to entertain Angel as much as possible. It's really the goal to understand her fully, like understand her personality, what she actually wants at her core, and work from there. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think it's very healthy that we're very independent in our own way. Like we can go on weeks without talking. And and that was like an unhealthy thing that we were in a relationship, but we weren't really part of each other's daily lives. So we were just like doing our own thing. And that served me well when I was traveling. But during the quarantine, I was like, this is not really healthy to just not check in. And also, it's also really like, and Oliver taught me to say sorry quickly. Like I can hold a grudge, I can cut someone off, and like I'm a very vindictive in a way person. But when he knows something's bothering me or us, he's very quick to apologize. And it doesn't really like we never really had really big fights because of him. It's mostly me going off about something I didn't like that piled up because I didn't say that in the first place. So, and he taught me that to just, it's okay to apologize and be like, I'm so sorry, and to think of the other person as if it's also your feelings. Like I've also been very mindful of what he feels. Like when I know that I've hurt him or disappointed or upset him in any way, like probably before with other guys, I'd be like, serves you, you just got what you deserved. But with him, I'm very, very mindful of correcting that and of knowing that he doesn't feel upset about stuff in general. So yeah, I think that's really healthy.
Ollie, do you know it's hard for Angel to actually say sorry? It's a good thing. Asking her to say sorry is a good thing.
He said sorry a lot, Like, he didn't tell me to say sorry, but he says it a lot and very quickly. Like, he will argue about something, and then an hour later, and he doesn't go online because he doesn't have his smartphone. He's like a boomer. Like, always going like he's not into techie stuff. And he'd be back online in like an hour or something because it would bother him that we're not okay. And I think like, just because of that behavior, I adapted that as well. Like, it's normal for him to say sorry and to fix it. So it should be normal to me too. Like, there's no point really of me holding a grudge or like, I don't know. He's a very chill guy. So sometimes when I'm really angry and he's just like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what do I do with this anger then?
You make good points a lot of times.
Like, I want a dramatic, like, we never have those dramas. He's just always like, yeah, sorry. Or, yeah, you're right. Not in a very...
We will. I'm looking for bigger dramas. I think, yeah.
I know.
You just make good points sometimes. You're just like, why don't you have space for me? And I was like, well, you know what? You're right. Like, you deserve space. Like, let me make more room for you in my schedule. You know, like, that's reasonable and like, that feels good, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I should be like, you need to make space for me.
He's never like that. He would just be like, yeah, I know you're busy. But for me, I make a big deal out of like, why did you scene zone me or something? Like, that really upset me. But he's like, yeah, you're right. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay, what do I do with this anger then? Like, you're not giving me time to rant. So I've learned that from him as well, that to just be like, oh, okay. Like, if he does something, oh, okay, I'm just like, it's fine. We're very quick to forgive. So, okay, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in this relationship?
Second biggest?
No, the biggest. Why would I have to be second biggest? Go big or go home. The biggest lesson.
Oh, relationship is not really that complicated. Compared to how we first seen it when we were younger, Jel. I mean, when you find the right guy, I think everything would work out just fine. Like, as you've mentioned earlier, when you're dating the right and mature kind of guy, you don't really have to worry about the dramas that we were so afraid to when we were younger. So I think when people generally loves drama, girls generally loves drama, that's why they end up being with the wrong guy. Well, I think the best one of the thing that girls, can I address the girls?
Yeah, girls.
Girls should always remember that when it doesn't feel right, and if the guy is not treating you well, you are in a wrong relationship. Yeah. Then just go. Because I think I am with the right person. I'm not exactly saying that I'll end up with him, but I know I am with a good guy. And never did he ever made me feel that I am less, that I am not enough, or I am doing the wrong things in life. So if ever you doubt about yourself because of your man, just leave.
Correct. Like, it's for people to be, it's very hard especially for girls to, like, I've encountered girls, especially with my work in Phenomenal Filipina. There are girls who are like, but what if there's no one who's gonna like me, or just so scared, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I always say, like, there's so much abundance, not just of wealth, health, and of like really good relationships. Like, I don't see men, and growing up, especially girls without dads, for example, and I am one of those. Like, we and you're not. We have a really cool dad, and we probably grow up thinking men are evil or this and that. And I've encountered some in my life, and I think that's a very limiting belief, because they're also human, and there are a lot of good guys out there. I think you just have to. It's not about being good. It's mostly just compatibility and timing, because it's also a wrong time, then it's the wrong person. There's no such thing as right time. I mean, right guy, wrong
Wrong.
time. It's the right guy. It's just the right guy.
And then girls should just stop looking and focus on themselves. Because when I first met Maynard, I was really that very independent, strong woman who could just travel alone, ride a bus and go to places, and actually don't think that I'll be needing anyone. That's what made our courtship really long compared to the rest, because I was in the transition phase. I was convincing myself that I am okay without him. I can do well without him. But then Maynard was really persistent. So I end up being with him. But the process was really long. It took him so much effort for me to actually convince him that I need him in my life. And even until up to now, I always need my me time. I always ask him time for myself because I just want to do things on my own. And those things is something that he cannot just take away from me, but I am really thankful that he understands.
Yeah, it's very, especially with finances, because I've seen girls, even our age and even like with our schoolmates, how they can't leave because of, even if they're being abused because they don't have money, like what am I gonna do, this and that. So I think in terms of marriage as well, like even if you don't, even if the guy has a really good job, you know how in the Philippines that's the
Standard.
yeah, just like him for having a good job. Like if you work on yourself and you can afford things yourself, you're just gonna be like, everything materially that you can give me, I can give to myself. So that's not what I want from you. And it's more of a want than a need. And I think that's more meaningful in a way, because I want you in my life. I don't need you in my life. And like if you fuck up, if you do something I don't like I wouldn't hesitate. There's no, I'm just gonna choose me, and I will have the means to choose me, because so many girls stay in relationships just because, especially in our age, just because they have no choice. And I don't ever want to put myself in that position. I always want to have a choice, even if it's doing well, and it will go bad. If it will go bad, you have a plan B. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Ollie, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in this relationship?
I think that's like what I'm learning from you, I guess, is that just like that I have like a responsibility. Like it's nice to have a responsibility. Like I think when I met you, I was a lot more just sort of distant. I didn't really expect you to expect anything out of me. And it's nice to have something to live up to. Like, I just feel like it's getting on track, like getting on your speed, like giving you what you need, and giving you the time and respect for what you have going on. Yeah, I think it's just been the lesson of like, you're gonna see what I'm made of and figure out like if you really want to know me or not. It's nice to like not have like a superficial relationship. Like I think you challenge me a lot and try to figure out what my intentions are a lot, and I like that. Yeah, it's a lesson of
yeah, because we really started this as not
it's
serious
not just
at all.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the biggest thing probably for me is just to communicate. It was hard, I think, for both of us. We didn't really communicate in a very healthy way for like a year. We would play mind games a lot, and I think that's like the courtship phase which I wouldn't have any other way, but it was not healthy in a way that I didn't know how to communicate with him. Just to say, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing now. I just say what I mean, and that's it. And there's a lot of liberty and freedom in that, and I've applied it in so much like areas, so many areas in my life as well, not just in this relationship, to just, you know, because people are not mind readers. I thought that me acting upset would just like make you magically know why I'm upset about something, you know, and I can't put that on you. It's also my responsibility as someone who's the upset party to tell you why I'm upset, and not just like, and not get more upset because you don't know why I'm upset. So there's a lot of, when I started really opening up and to probably just saying, not caring about, like what would he think or this and that, because there's a lot of that in the beginning. That's when I really felt happy about the relationship, like I am now, like, and secure. So yeah, the biggest lesson probably is to just communicate. Okay, a few more ones, yay. Is there a question that you're scared of asking your significant other, but you really want to know the answer to? That's from MQ, and she told me to tell you guys that that's who that's from.
That's from her.
Asian.
Our high school friend.
Yeah. What's the question that you're scared to ask, but you really want to know the answer to? You really want to know, the answer to? No, nothing.
I think I know. I get to ask Meinard anything that I want to. But it's not a question for him, but a question for us. Are we compatible in bed? Just kidding. Cut. Joke lang. Wala. We have, if ever I have any questions in mind, I can just text him away. I just can text him or ask him personally and get the answer right from him.
You have questions from y'all?
Is there a question? Sorry, what was the question? Is there a question that I'm
that you haven't asked, but you really want to know the answer to?
Is that like a question for now? Like something that I've been waiting to ask to this podcast?
No. Just be on camera. No. Just a question in general that you probably wanted to ask me, but you never did.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's questions I want to ask you that I can't think of right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think there's a question there's no question I wanted to ask that I haven't asked.
Why did you ask this? Yeah.
I'm not holding a question yet.
What are the changes you've seen in your
marriage?
Sorry.
MQ is like, when are you gonna pop the question? Is that MQ?
She probably does. Like, so weird how everyone wants us to get married. I'm not sure if Krystelle and Meinard also just have the same problem, but everyone's just like, are you married? When are you gonna get married?
Oh.
Is that a question that you get asked a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, jokingly, but actually, that's why I hate posting pictures of us, because some of his friends would really comment a wedding ring or ask you about kailan kasal or when will you get married, which is really not in our mind yet. So I either hide it or jokingly answer anything like kayo muna, you do it first, or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's a very Filipino culture pressuring you to do something just because you're at the right age, because you're 24 and you can just get married. Especially me, I think the pressure would be more on Maynard because he's turning 30. He's
So,
older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Oliver's starting to understand that my fears about like the marriage situation, because he probably didn't know that it's like a big thing in the Philippines, or that I'm going to be pressured a lot, but now he's learning.
I just got that question like 2 days ago from my best friend's sister, who doesn't really like, she's never seen a picture of Angel, and she was like, "Are you still dating?" And then she's like, "When are you getting married?" And it's kind of nice because it puts it in like a serious bubble where like it just put me like way on the spot, and it, it was a lot more like, because sometimes I feel like people talk and ask me about Angel and it might be like a funny thing, and I don't want it to be that. So I would way rather have somebody say that to me. But when you're used by your friends,
I'm a Filipina. And he's
yeah.
like, there's also the whole racial angle of like, they probably think I'm trying to, I don't know,
How old is
into a white, like get a green card or something.
Ollie?
How old?
27 in a month.
Oh, but that's still a normal age for a guy not to get married, right?
It's, I don't know. Yeah, it totally varies. I think guys in America usually get married a little bit older, like 35. I think that's like average. Yeah, it's gone up since like past couple of generations. Like,
You're gonna be bald by then.
oh yeah.
You definitely just want the McDonald's wedding. If you're gonna look like that in pictures.
Being bald is like a major milestone for me.
In the Philippines, it's also normal for guys to around that age, but for girls that would be different. Your whole clan would really pressure you to get married once you step out of the calendar.
Yeah, I think it's really similar in the US. It's just like overall a little bit older, like women and men, I think. Like men typically get married older in the Philippines, like, than women.
Yeah.
Still normal for guys not to marry.
Because typically they are the breadwinners, so they need to like, it's very common in the Philippines for women to stay at home and not work, and put that on the guy. I mean, it's changing now, but typically that's how it is. We don't really work, not much. Yeah.
Which will not happen for us.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm all for it. If people are thinking that I'm with a white guy so I can lay around in my bathing suit, why not? Okay. Okay. So a few last questions. If you can go back to the day you met each other in a sentence, what would you say to your past self?
Go for it. I mean, during the start of our relationship, there were really several doubts, and right now I just realized that those were all useless. I pressured myself too much. I doubt him so much. I thought that love is so complicated, that it has to be this way, it should be that way. So right now, I would just tell my old self, just go for it.
Maynard?
For me, I would say take the risk and
Because I'm worth it.
Very much so.
Yeah, take the risk and pursue it, even if you having a hard time. Just go for it, just like them.
Yeah, he has this something about making gaya-gaya. He always
But I meant it.
He always wanted to fight.
Krystelle, stop.
That's love.
Like whatever. Yeah. I'm taking masters, he's taking it. I'm taking that thing, he's also doing it. Ay nako.
It's good. Values alignment. Oh, so what would you say?
So Ollie.
I don't know. This is a really tough one, in my opinion. Yeah, I liked your answers. I don't know what to say.
like,
Like,
we're competitive. Why are you just like?
I feel like I would give myself some chill answer. I'd be like, "It's gonna be all good, man." I don't know what to say. I always wanted to ask you to stay. I never said that to you. I wanted you, or I think I told you about that, but I think I would try to tell myself, like, ask her to stay, because, like, I was debating that, and, like, yeah, I don't know what you would say still, but, like, I think
how to be
I would tell
secret.
myself that. Yeah, because I like the taking the risks, and I like, yeah.
Go for
I'm sorry, forget yours.
it does. Maybe like there's what you're looking for that you'll continue to look for after you've already found it.
You're like, you're stupid, but
Yeah, you're gonna be stupid. Probably like myself would just like let me do all the mistakes. I wouldn't say those are mistakes. Those are just like I just like the process of getting here. You wouldn't. I really don't think I would have seen you again after I left you, like in that parking lot. So it was. I don't know. Did you think that you'd still see me?
no.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about it. It was just like, I don't know. You were just like in the back of my head, I guess.
But you were like, yeah, when you said you
That's what I
invited
mean.
me that day, you were like, yeah, that's probably the last time that I'd see her.
Yeah, it was like just the fact that it was like a very like sort of chance meeting, and like we kind of just like had a lot of honest experiences with each other. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I just thought we were both going different places, and I think, yeah, we just sort of both accepted that.
Yeah. I did write about it. It's so good about that's what I love about writing, because I wrote about this thing about like meeting someone in Hawaii and that we couldn't fall in love. I don't think I fell in love with you in Hawaii. It was like I wrote that because I'm gonna leave, because I do believe that I hope that we're gonna find something better, but I also hope that we're not going to find that. So like it's so good to just see where my thoughts are at that time. And yeah, definitely didn't see us till we weren't even together then, like where we are at the moment. So last question, it's getting long. Tips to girls and boys in finding the right partner.
The question is wrong. You should not look for the right person, because there's no right person. You try to do the right thing for your partner, and I think he or she would always reciprocate the same. There is also no formula for it. Do not look for love. It will come to you. Relationship is a hard work. You don't just get happy endings by saying yes, or you don't just get a good relationship by looking for that person. You have to be the person who you want to be with, and everything will follow.
Tips, Maynard. In case this one doesn't work out, I need more tips.
Same with Tel. There's no such right thing of finding the right person, but you have to find the worth to be with. Like, not just when you're happy, but also when you're down. So it's not always rainbow and butterfly.
And then one thing is, there will be so much flaws in a relationship. You see so much in a person. Like, we all want our guy to, like you said, easily understand us when we feel these things. But it doesn't happen like that in the real life. You have to express yourself, why you feel this way, why you felt offended, and then explain to him logically what happened. And then if he can understand your situation, then maybe you are with the right person.
Right. Any tips, Alls?
Be honest. Like, expose yourself. Always be yourself. Yeah, always be yourself. Always be open, and don't expect your experience with it to be like anyone else's. And if you're doing that, you're probably going to lead yourself the wrong way. And yeah, trust that the universe will bring you what you're looking for. Like, people might meet by accident, but they don't really stay together by accident. And you'll find people the fastest, and you'll make the best connections if you are open and you let people in.
Yeah, same. It's more, there's a lot of limiting belief between relationships these days because it's probably the media and how we all grew up. Probably we all grew up in the same generation that, relationships are just about heartbreaks. And me and Tel growing up, like, I think there's a lot of fear also with that, and a lot of fear and a lot of expectations that weren't necessarily that we shouldn't even be wanting, to be honest. Like, weird expectations. We would be we thought and if you're young, about 16 young, like, you thought that high school and like being in this, we had a weird high school because it's like really, really close knit. We don't even go out during lunch breaks. We were in a private Catholic school, so we were like, they were just exchanging partners. So at that point, like, I just wish I could go back and say, like, the world is so much bigger than these. It's literally four corners because it's a boxed school. Than these four corners, and you'll meet a lot of people, and there's just like, there's so much abundance of love and honesty in the universe, and to be scared of that is also not activating the blessing. So to always be open. I like that he uses the words universe now, because I'm that. So thank you so much. Any last words for each other or for the viewers? Tel and Maynard.
What do you want to say?
Nothing much.
I don't know what to say.
When you're still young, never rush into finding love.
Focus on yourself first.
Yeah, focus on yourself. Focus on. I'm really thankful that I didn't go into a relationship when I was younger, because it saved myself from so much pain. Unlike with several other people who encountered so much, and it doesn't make them less, but it would definitely it would that those experiences definitely affected them in any way. So yes, just go with the flow, enjoy life as it is, and when you find the right person, go for it.
No right person.
No right person. Asa pa, John?
How about for each other? What do you want to say to each other if you end up watching this a few years down the road?
If you'll change, make sure it's gonna be good. I don't really want to keep him as he is, because there's no such thing. But if he'll change, make sure that it's for the better.
Any last words, Alls? Do you want to say something to me?
I was gonna say this experience has been really fun. Getting involved in doing stuff like in a community is always really cool. Like if you can't get in a good relationship, getting in a good community with people is really, really good for you. Yeah. Don't think that relationships are the epitome of life, and yeah, value all your interactions and just try to cherish the moments with anybody, even, always good to have a great, healthy relationship, but friendships and family and communication with anybody is really, really good for you. I'm glad to have this experience with everybody.
Do you have anything else to say to me?
Self-centered. Angel, you look beautiful today. Your makeup
Shut up. Yeah, so thanks so much to Krystelle for, I know like she's very busy, and for dragging Meinard to do this podcast with us. The girls, the team are and I know everyone who's gonna watch this one. It's one of the most requested topics. So I'm really, really happy that you could be here, and to Meinard for being such a good sport, and to Oliver for sure, because I said no to a lot of things where it involves him, because he didn't really sign up for that when he signed up for the relationship, but he's so supportive of things, and he's always just like, yeah, let's do it, and I'm like the only one who's like, what? I thought you'd say no, so I said no. So yeah, I really appreciate that he's
glad to be here. Glad to show up.
Sorry?
I thought he was gonna say no. So I was confident. I'm gonna ask Meinard, and then he said, okay.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I always say that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna ask Ollie because he's gonna say no, but then he says yes. So I don't want to like lie to people and be like, Ollie said no, but he's okay with me pushing him under the bus. He's really, really supportive, and yeah, I hope that when he doubts that I'm happy, he knows that I am. And if I'm not, I'm gonna tell him anyway. So yeah, I think we're, except for the COVID situation, I think we're in a really good place. And yeah, I wish everyone love, wealth, health, and so much good memories. So thank you so much.
Bye bye. Nice meeting you guys.
Hi, nice meeting you too.